A lot of you probably haven't seen this carving bench prototype that I made a little while back. I wanted to make a version of my bigger carving bench or carving stand, but to make it so that it was portable, easy to carry around, light-ish. It's still fairly heavy, and also really robust and strong, so that you could really, hit against it with a hammer and chisel and not have too many problems. My really awesome viewers on Twitch then helped fund a run of units to be made from a CNC place, because that's how I designed it, so it could be cut out of plywood and then assembled to make it easier to construct. And we had about 10 of those units made, I think, and I started putting them together. And even though I do really like the design, I like how it kind of all packs away inside itself. I then started thinking if I can make one that was even flatter, but still strong enough to, withstand some robust carving or some rigorous carving. So that's what we're going to do in that video. We're going to try and make a flat one that basically folds down to the flatness of one plywood sheet, so you can just kind of push it away, like hide it behind a wall, or hide it behind a unit or something like that, or behind one of your machines in your workshop when you're not using it. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So I'm just going to give you a really quick overview to this bench and how it works. Basically everything that you need for it is contained inside it. There's a bench hook on the bottom here that hooks onto your bench like this. So to open it up, you have to unscrew these little knobs, which are actually threaded wood. And once those are undone, you can then take these inner braces out. I just got to make the holes bigger in that other one, I think. And then you can take out these bits if you want. These are all the dowels, the connectors that help you wedge stuff onto the board. Then you flip it over and put it back onto your bench like this. You lift it up, and then you put your piece on here and on here. And then to secure it even further, you turn the little knobs back on. And then down inside here, you've got your wedges, which get stored away in there. And then what you can do is get your blocks and put them in here really easily. And then you can put your workpiece in here, put the wedges in place, and then push the wedges together. And then you clamp this down to your bench with two of your F clamps or something like that. Whatever clamps you've got, there's a big gap in there for you to hold them down on. And then you can, bash the hell out of this and do your carving. And that's basically it. So that was the first prototype I made by hand that I just showed you. And this is the other one that got made on the CNC machine, which is basically the same, except it looks a lot straighter. But I did have to make the threaded bolts and the threaded nuts by myself, because I couldn't find a place. I searched for ages and I couldn't find a place that did these in a way that was affordable or had the right sizes and stuff like that, so I made it myself. Obviously I think that's viable if you're going to make it on a big scale, to make all that stuff yourself, but I just wanted to get it done and to see how it would work out. But yeah, it's a lot cleaner. The plywood is worse quality, but that's because that's all we could afford to get done. Plus it was just a prototype. So now what I want to do is get this sheet of plywood here, which is thicker. This is 18mm, I think, and this is 25, I believe. And what I'm going to do is make the bench so it folds up as flat as this. That's the plan. So it's going to be quite a bit different from that one. And I guess we'll see how it goes. So now I've got all the pieces I cut out kind of reassembled in a way. There's the wedges that are going to help you put the work in place. This is the main board, and then these bits here are the two arms that are going to, you know, position the table at a certain height or whatever. I got myself a 15mm drill bit and some 15mm dowel to try and secure these together. I wanted to go bigger really than 15mm, but I think this is the biggest I can get away with without the dowel wanting to kind of burst out the side of the wood, but we'll see. If I think I can go bigger on another one, then we'll go bigger on another one, but let's test it with this to start off with and see how it goes. So now that I've got these arms sorted, and you saw me beating the crap out of it there just to see how much force it could take, and it seems to take quite a lot without buckling or anything, or breaking, or hearing any like kind of cracking noises, which I was quite surprised by. I actually thought it was going to be weaker than that, but there you go. So now what I'm going to do is make it so that when it's folded down like this, these dowels will go back through those holes at the bottom. So we're going to drill extra holes in the bottom here. But I don't want them to stick out like this, because I don't want there to be anything coming out from the side apart from this actual side panel. So I want to make them go all the way in, but then obviously, you know, how the hell are you going to get them out once they're all the way in like that? So what I'm going to do is carve away part of the top here where the hole is, and then I'm going to glue a dowel inside this so that it's kind of like a little kind of nubbin thing to push your finger against. I was originally just going to cut a notch in there so that you could just push your finger against it and pull it out, but I think that top bit over time would probably snap off. This little, like the little bit of the edge would probably snap off eventually, so I figured I'd just put a little dowel in there and make it so it's flush with the top of this, and then that way you can use your fingers to push them out. And then after that, what I'll do is I'll get these wedges to fit in here properly. I've got to kind of cut them down a little bit so they're a bit easier to pull in and out, and I'll probably drill some holes in them so you can get your fingers inside them, or get like a tool inside them or something if they're really wedged in there tightly. And then I'll put some dowels in from the top here, which will act as the, you know, like the pegs for the board, so you can hold your work in properly. And then if there's enough room, I want to make a big hole here for a handle. so that it's easy to pick up. And that's it. Then it will be done, or at least that prototype will be done. And then we'll be able to see if there's any changes I want to make to it or whatever when we do the next one. But yeah, it's going slightly better than I thought. Obviously there's been some awkward bits, but it's stronger than I thought it would be, which is the most pleasing part. But anyway, let's get on with this next bit. I decided to just go with the notches now, by the way. And now just a test to see how quickly I can set this up. So I'll put a timer on the screen right now. Oh, we're not off to a good start. All these are going to fit better, you know, if I had it cut out on a CNC because I didn't. These bits at the top are really hard to pull out, and if you're going to use it, you're probably going to want to use these bits. And stop the clock. There we go. So now I'll show you how it works. I think you already know, but I'll get a bit closer and I'll show you how it works. So we use one of these nice little pieces of wood that I got for one of our next projects as an example. I'm hoping these are going to go in here nicely because I haven't even tested these out yet. There we go. Alright, get those in there. Then we just want the wedges in there. We might need a bit more of a gap actually, but let's see. Let's go down a bit further maybe. Sometimes you need to like, because even when you put the, you know, the holes at regular intervals, sometimes you need there to be an extra sliver of wood in there just to help you. But I think we'll be okay. And there you go. So I think that's pretty good. I can't slide it out there, it's holding it pretty damn well. And obviously if you want to release, you just tap and that's it. Let's see how quickly we can pack it away. I don't think we need to do the timer for this bit. Or we can. Let's do a timer. Do the timer now. This is half the battle getting these things out. Whoops, that might have been a bit loud, sorry about that. Almost there. I have to put these in order of their number because I haven't made them all exactly the same shape. Obviously if you had a CNC you would be able to make them all the same shape. And stop. And now we can pack it away. I don't think that's that bad. I've made worse things. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, thanks for coming along guys. I think we'll improve this design a little bit more, but I quite like it. Nice little thin design, very lightweight, easy to carry, much more lightweight than the other one we had, which I'll show you now. It's right here. Much more lightweight than this one. It's probably about, I don't know, that's probably about a third heavier maybe. There's the two things. I don't know if this was going to stand up on its own. It does stand up on its own by some miracle. So there you go, there's the two little different carving benches. I quite like both designs. They both are pretty strong. This one's much stronger. But as you can see, this one could take a hell of a bashing or a hell of a beating, so I think this one's quite a good contender to kind of replace that one. But it depends on your needs and your wants and just the kind of stuff you're going to be making, I guess. But I'm going to make a few things on this, see how well it performs. I want to actually recover a book with some wooden, hand-carved wooden panels on the front and the back. So that's the project I'm going to do on this, the first project we're going to do. But anyway, I realise this is a long outro. I just wanted to kind of show you what we did and say thanks for watching. If you liked it, subscribe. If you hated it, dislike it. And as always, if you want to comment, I would love to see what you have to think about it. And yeah, catch you next time. Thanks for coming.